How the Amish manage to cook without fire. It might sound impossible, but it's a tradition they've perfected over generations. No modern gadgets, no gas stoves, just pure simplicity. From preserving food in the most natural ways to cooking with the sun, the Amish have figured out how to do it all while staying true to their values. Ready to find out how they make it happen? Let's dive into their incredible world of fire-free cooking. The Amish and their old-school cooking. There's something oddly peaceful about Amish cooking. It's so simple, so pure. No distractions, no loud appliances, just quiet. Most people don't even think about cooking without fire. But for the Amish, that's normal. They live off the land. Their kitchens, well, they don't look like anything you'd expect. No microwaves, no blenders. Just a few old wooden counters, a sink, and maybe a stove. But even that is used sparingly. Some days, they don't cook with any fire at all. Strange, right? They find ways to prepare their meals without the usual tools. It's almost like they've discovered a way to go back in time. Not because they can't use fire, but because they choose not to. The summer kitchen, cooking without overheating. When the heat of summer rolls around, most of us crank up the air conditioning. Not the Amish. They have something better. The summer kitchen. It's not really a kitchen, not in the way we think. It's a separate little building, built to keep the heat out of the house. It's simple but effective. There's a wood stove inside, but even that doesn't get used all the time. Instead, they rely on clever alternatives. Maybe they use solar ovens or cook outside. Nothing fancy, just natural. It's a way of life, not a gimmick. When it's hot, they're comfortable. And when they want to cook, they do it without heating up the whole house. It's all about balance, living with the land, not against it. Canning and preserving, no fire needed. Now let's talk about canning. The Amish are masters at it. They know how to preserve food like nobody else, but they don't need fire for it. Most people think canning requires boiling jars, and it does sometimes, but not always. They're the whole world of preservation that doesn't need any heat at all. They dry fruits and vegetables. They pickle, some even ferment. The beauty of it? It's all done at room temperature. Just nature working its magic. No need for fire, just patience. The food lasts. And during the long winters, it's a lifeline. They don't need a freezer. They don't need electricity. Just jars, lids, and the land. It's simple, but effective. So much of what we take for granted, they don't need it. Fermentation, the secret Amish method. Fermentation, now that's another Amish secret. They make things like sauerkraut, kimchi, and pickles, but they don't cook them. Nope, it's all about the bacteria. They let nature do the work. Fermentation happens at room temperature. It's just food, salt, and time. Nothing more. For the Amish, this isn't a trend. It's tradition. They've been doing it for centuries. And it's not just about food lasting longer. It's about flavor. That tangy crunch of pickles. The richness of fermented bread. It's part of their life. They don't need fire to make it happen. Just patience, salt, and a little faith in nature's process. A sustainable life. Amish cooking and sustainability. Sustainability is at the heart of Amish cooking. They don't cook with fire, not because they can't, but because they choose not to. Everything they do is about living simply and in harmony with nature. They don't waste. They don't consume more than they need. Their cooking methods? They're just part of the bigger picture. They grow their own food, they preserve it, and they use every last bit. Nothing goes to waste. No fancy gadgets. No running to the store for the latest cooking trend. It's all about using what you've got and finding ways to do more with less. That's the Amish way. They show us that we don't need all this extra stuff. Just a little knowledge, a lot of care, and a deep respect for the world around us. Cooking with solar power, a modern Amish twist. You wouldn't think the Amish would be into solar power, right? They're all about keeping things old school. But sometimes, even tradition needs a little nudge. Some Amish families are embracing solar cooking. Solar cookers, to be exact. It's kind of like a miracle in a box. The sun's heat gets trapped inside, cooking your food slowly and steadily. It's genius. No fire, no electricity, just sunlight. They use these cookers for everything from stews to cakes. It's a perfect blend of Amish simplicity and modern sustainability. Sure, it's not a wood stove or an open fire, but it's still very much in line with the Amish values. It's simple, efficient, and doesn't take anything from the earth that it doesn't need to. Just the power of the sun. The Amish and their handmade tools. No fire, no problem. Another interesting thing about Amish cooking, the tools. They don't need fancy gadgets to prepare a meal. Everything is handmade. From knives to cutting boards, it's all crafted by hand. The Amish believe in using tools that are built to last, not throwaway gadgets that break after a few uses. They don't need a gas-powered blender to mix their ingredients. They'll use a wooden spoon, their hands, or maybe a stone grinder. When it comes to cooking, it's not about having the latest tech. It's about having the right tools for the job. They make sure the tools they use are efficient, long-lasting, and crafted with care. No fire needed here either. They rely on what they've made, the same way they rely on their way of life. Drying, a traditional method with no fire. Drying food might sound simple, but it's an art. The Amish do it like no one else. They dry fruits, herbs, meats, and even mushrooms. And they don't need fire for it. Just air, patience. Sometimes they hang things in the warm sun to dry. Other times, they use special drying racks or dehydrators. These are devices that gently pull moisture out of food over time. It's slow, but it's effective. Dried food can last for months, even years, when stored properly. And it keeps all the nutrients, too. In a way, drying is more efficient than cooking with fire. It preserves more of the original flavor, the original vitamins. And it doesn't need fire, just the natural elements. Nature is their ally, not something they need to fight against. Baking without fire, it's possible. Now, you might think that baking is something the Amish can't do without fire. After all, bread needs heat to rise, right? Well, not always. Sure, they'll bake in their wood-burning stoves during colder months. But in the warmer months, they use other methods. Some Amish families use solar ovens to bake. Others use a method called slow baking, where they let bread rise in a warm, dark place, letting the dough rise without the need for an oven. The bread is just as delicious, if not more so, than anything made in a conventional oven. It's all about patience. The dough rises slowly, naturally. The Amish believe in slowing down, taking their time, and letting things unfold as they should. And when it comes to bread, the result speaks for itself. Living without fire, the true Amish lifestyle. At the end of the day, the Amish way of cooking without fire is more than just about food. It's about living with intention. Every step they take is thoughtful. They don't cook with fire, not because they don't know how, but because they've found other ways. These ways are rooted in respect. Respect for the earth, for their traditions, and for the simplicity they hold dear. They've learned that fire isn't always necessary. It's a tool, yes, but so are the sun, the wind, and the earth. The Amish embrace these tools, and in doing so, they create a lifestyle that's sustainable, humble, and deeply connected to nature. It's a life that says, we don't need more, we need less. And with less, we can have everything we truly need. So, next time you're thinking about cooking, remember, the Amish are out here showing us how to thrive without fire. Simple, sustainable, and incredibly efficient. If you found this peek into Amish life fascinating, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips on living a simpler, more intentional life. Until next time, keep cooking with care, and remember, sometimes less really is more. Catch you in the next video on Rustic Plant Try.